I oppose Proposition 6 in the Texas legislature. I believe I was either the only one ultimately or one of a few. When you look at the proposition, and it's worded, I think, fairly deceptively, it doesn't talk anything about the Economic Stabilization Fund or the Rainy Day Fund. It doesn't mention the words $2 billion that are going to be taken out of that fund and put into this investment bank, so to speak.
What we are for is an affordable and a sustainable water supply. And in this case, I think follow the money is a good recommendation. Follow the money. From the governor on down, special interests are running, in my opinion, running our state, but in water, I'm pretty sure that that's the case. We don't need winners and losers, rural people losing to the urban interests. I understand that we're in a very small minority. But there has to be more conversation before just taking more money and throwing it at more pockets. Because those pockets will walk away, growth will not have paid for itself on the front end. We'll be stuck with buying water at unaffordable prices at the urban end, and my folks in my counties buying it back some way because it's already left our aquifer and we've been overdrafted and depleted. It may not happen in our lifetimes, but it will happen in our children's or grandchildren's lifetimes.
If you go back to January of this year, a time when our reservoirs are typically full, a time when farmers and ranchers are thinking about the amount of water that they're going to need to be able to plant, we had reservoirs across the state, more than half of them, about 57% of them, with less than half of their capacity. And some of them had drastically less than half. In the Panhandle Reservoir region, which is grouped together with a percentage, we had 1.31% of capacity. Lake Meredith was at 0.0% of capacity. Lake Medina, which is just outside of San Antonio, has taken a steady decline, partially because of porosity of the lake bed, and has gone from about 7% this last spring to 4.3% today. This was a lake that at one time served truck vegetable farmers all throughout that area, many of whom sold to HEB. They were an important part of the economy. They were cut off from water 2 years ago. There's no way that you can make any kind of scientific argument that where the Texas Water Development Board and where the legislature want to spend their money is viable. It's not viable for the future of Texas.